Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Sorry for the slight delay, and welcome to those on the telephone. This is the regular meeting of Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West, held in Council Chambers at 216 Main Street West, Swan River, Manitoba. This 25th day of November 2021 at 7 p.m. Present, myself, Deputy Reeve Blosha, Councillors Foster, Wills, Kushniryk, and Pierrepont, as well as our CAO James Webb, and doing podcast Jeremy Bergen. There are no absences. Next resolution, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of council held this 25th day of November 2021 shall be adopted as presented. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Bill, seconded by Councillor Foster. Any additions from anyone? If not, all in favor? That's carried. Next resolution. Be it resolved that the minutes of the special and regular council meetings held November 9th, 2021 be adopted as presented. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Kushniryk. Any errors or omissions? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Public Works reports.
Public Works, no delegations, no petitions.
Okay, we'll move on to 7.1 then, the first reading of bylaw. The resolution reads, be it resolved that bylaw number 0091-21 to amend table 4.3 residential rural use table and table 4.4 residential rural bulk table of bylaw number 238304, being the rural municipality of Swan River zoning bylaw, be read a first time this 25th day of November 2021. Do we have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any discussion? Not, all in favor? 7.2, next resolution, be it resolved that a public hearing be held on January 11th, 2022 at 7:15 p.m. for the purpose of receiving presentations from those interested as related to the request for amending table 4.3 residential rural table and table 4.4 residential rural bulk table of the rural municipality Swan River zoning bylaw number 2383-04, and be it further resolved that all necessary advertising, mailing, and postings of the notice for said hearing shall be made in accordance with the Planning Act. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Kushniryk, seconded by Councillor Wills. Any discussion? Not, all in favor? That is carried. Moving on to 8.1. Resolution reads, be it resolved that Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. General Cheques number 17370 to 17401 in the amount of $154,047.73. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster, seconded by Councillor Wills. Any questions or comments? Everyone had a chance to peruse them?
Yep.
Okay, there being none, we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. 8.2. Be it resolved that Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. Payroll payments number 3889 to 3903 in the amount of $21,090.55. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any questions on that checklist? There being none, all in favor? That is carried. Next resolution, be it resolved that Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby receives the bank reconciliation and financial statements for the period ending, I have a blank there.
We're just gonna leave that resolution off for now. Yeah.
So we will just disregard it for the present. Okay, do we have anything in budget 2022?
That's your time to, as we remember things for budget 2022, we want to gather them up early because we're going to head into a budget early in the year this time around. So that's why I always leave it there so that as we think about things as we come into it. You know?
Yep. Yes. Okay, so this, if I can, this kind of comes from the AMM where Matt and I had spoke with one of the local vendors there about a gravel maintaining type of material. It's a product that can be applied to the gravel. And I don't think it's something that we need to go and just spray out everywhere. I think we need to do a test run on a few locations, whether we just pick certain spots or do certain miles of it. It is, I think it's going to run roughly around 10 to 15,000 per mile for the product, but it means material and labor, or equipment and labor to mix this stuff in.
And it's not something that you apply on a whole mile, you apply it on 50 yards or 100 yards.
Okay.
It's, keep going.
Yeah, so
Did you say $1 amount per mile?
they gave us an estimate of $10,000 to $15,000 per mile.
Okay.
So that was their figures. They had a couple of test spots in southern Manitoba where they did consecutive miles, and that's what those are the numbers that they were using. So what it does is it utilizes the clay content of the road and almost turns it into a concrete. So it gives you a better road structure. It eliminates dust in those areas where it's applied, and maintenance is another thing. In one of their situations, it was
They had to cut the gravel out with a rock.
the grader only went there once in 2
That was
years
6 years ago.
for any touch-ups, and it was basically a
Consecutive years.
No, like
pothole
6 years
or-
ago, I'm sorry.
Oh,
washboard idea. So
They had to cut that out of the
How thick
road
of
with a rock saw.
the road
Wow,
would it
is that right?
solidify?
in their example,
About 4 inches.
about 4 inches.
Oh,
I think they recommend anything from that 4 to
They
8
cut it out with
inch
a rock
mark.
saw.
I mean, depending on how much we cut
That's how
down.
hard it makes it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But when they went to, they had the university do a study on it, and they had to take a concrete saw to take their sample out
And
of
use
the
a
road
rock
to
saw
do
to cut
their
it out.
analysis of it after 6 years of use. So, yeah, a diamond tipped concrete saw to take their sample. So it seems to hold up. And the only way to actually make any improvements or, I guess repairs, they said you have to soak that piece of ground, then take your grader with a teeth tip blade, and you have to scarify it basically first in order to
Loosen it up.
loosen that material.
Otherwise it's just like concrete when it's dry.
And no dust.
No dust. But this would be more geared for like the dust aspect is great, but any soft spots that won't hold up, you know, you apply that to the top of them and you get a 4 to 6 inch layer of basically concrete.
So anyways, it was something that was very interesting, kind of caught our attention, and it was obviously something that needs some consideration for budget when we decide to pick a few places or a few spots. I mean, I'm sure we can all sit here and pick out a handful,
Yeah.
but
I've already got like 5.
but the application, like I said, you have to go and take your road surface now. Well, not right now, but you have to take your road surface, kind of collect it up, and then this gets blended to that road material. And if we have to build it up in any place, well, then that's what we would do at the time. Then it gets leveled back out. You shape it and pack it, and then it's done. You can drive on it immediately. But you know, I'm thinking, you know, you got your haul roads and you've got, you know, certain soft spots, and that might be.
Yeah, so do you have to add water with it, quite a bit of water with it, or?
Nope. Once it's done, then that's it. You just kind of walk away from it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
you
in
don't.
liquid form.
Yeah, it is a liquid form, sort
yeah,
of.
yeah, oh, it is.
The only time you gotta add water to it is if you do have a hole punched through it for some reason.
Try to work it in.
And if you're gonna try to work it, then you have to wet it in order to work it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about for slipperiness?
Did they give any indication what sort of dollars would have to be spent to come? Because it is from Winnipeg.
I don't know if that's.
They didn't say anything, but I think that in the event that we were gonna look into this, we just make the phone call and find out, I guess.
Yeah.
But just for information now
Yeah,
for the rest of the council.
So
It's good.
if there's an appetite for it, I mean, we've got contact. We can email this guy, and you know,
We can get more information too.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's excellent. Anyone else have anything on their wish list? All right, we'll keep thinking about it until the next meeting.
Just on that last point of the bank reconciliation and financial reports, that is in the package there. And it's the end of September. October's and November will be coming out on the December meeting, so 14th. But this will give you a good idea where we're at for budget. So that's good.
Okay, any correspondence?
No correspondence, no.
Anything under unfinished business?
Not that I have.
Okay, we'll go to number 12, committee reports. And we will start with Councillor Kushniryk.
Okay. Well, you just heard one of my highlights from AMM, so I won't tie you up with any more of that. I think since the last meeting, because I missed the one before, I was at a library meeting quite a few weeks ago. Anyways, the library has come up against a bit of a situation with some people that are loitering or misusing the library for what it's intended for, and have had to call the RCMP on a few different occasions. So we've got some spray painting on the outside and then some unwanted behavior inside. Since then, we've had a number of discussions with the staff, and I guess we've worked with the RCMP trying to get the right help for them or support they need. The ladies, obviously, they're not always feeling so safe, so we've tried to give them some direction on how to look after themselves at work. I guess there's always more we can do, and through one of the discussions about the AMM with the RCMP, They suggested a few different, tips to try and help keep them secure. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know what else. If there was, I'm probably a transportation meeting or two in there.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, that's it,
Yeah.
Councillor? Thank you. Councillor Blosha?
I had, the only meetings I had, were a few HR meetings.
LED.
Oh, and yes, I had an LUD meeting, thanks, Mr. Webb.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Wills?
I had a fire protection services meeting a while back here, and I guess the AMM, I also attended that as well, and it was fairly informative. Nothing mind-blowing, but good information anyways. I think that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Pierrepont?
I had an HR meeting, or two I believe. And I don't have the rest of my stuff in front of me, so
There wasn't too much in the last couple of weeks.
I don't think so, no. Well, there was, but
Okay, thank you. Councillor Foster?
There was transportation meeting and fire meeting, that's committee meeting. That's everything for me, yeah.
Okay, thank you. As far as myself, I attended a fire committee meeting, a couple of HR meetings, a canoe procurement seminar attended in Chambers by Zoom. Three of us attended the AMM convention in Winnipeg on Monday and Tuesday. We had a chance to have a half an hour with the RCMP, and they enlightened us as to a few of their ongoing projects. One that's just started is equipping all members who serve the public with body cams, and they feel that that's a very important step forward for them, and I agree. Also, they are going to be facilitating online crime reporting, which is also a very good idea, in my estimation. They know crime in the rural is happening with the price of cattle, price of commodities, and the price of inputs, such as seed, canola seed, all of the chemicals, very, very expensive and prone to theft. So they know that those thefts are happening, and many times the farmer just kind of throws up his hands and says, what's the chances? Well, they encourage us to encourage anyone who is the victim of a crime to report it. Because the number of reports that they get reflects in the dollars that they receive for operations. And if the reporting goes down and down and down because of people not thinking that anything is going to be done, pretty soon there will not be anything able to be done if, the reporting keeps falling. They know that, as I say, that there are crimes occurring out there, and I guess it's a little different. Maybe they don't understand the size of the bins, as an example. If somebody's hauling out of, a trucker's hauling out to the elevator for a producer, and in between him loading up, somebody else slips in there and loads up a truck, who's to know, really, right? Because the bins are 25, 50, even larger, and you can't tell by peeking in the top even that another 1,000 bushels are gone, or 50.
You're not gonna notice.
No, that's right. So, but the message that he was trying to send was ensure that you encourage anyone who is a victim of crime to report it. We also had the opportunity to do some networking with other elected officials, and we were present when The ministers were all there except MI. Unfortunately, that was the one that we wanted to quiz about Highway 275, but he was not able to attend, so. But overall, it was a worthwhile trip. And that's my report.
And I was at a fire services meeting.
Okay,
I believe that's ready for you to
you want me to close this off, or?
yes,
Okay.
open it.
Okay, resolution be it resolved that we do hereby accept the following verbal reports regarding council committees and communications. Councillor Kushniryk, AMM Convention, Library Meeting, Councillor Blosha, LUD Meeting, HR Meeting, Councillor Wills, AMM Convention, Fire Services Meeting, Councillor Pierrepont, HR Meeting, Councillor Foster, Transportation and Fire Services Meeting, myself, Fire Services Meeting, Transportation Meeting, AMM Convention, and for CAO James Webb, Fire Services Meeting. Do we have a mover for the resolution, please? Moved by Councillor Kushniryk, seconded by Councillor Wills. Any questions of any of those reports? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Okay, we arrived quickly, but it is time to go in camera. So as has happened in the recent past, we open up the phone line to anyone who has a question or a comment regarding anything that's been covered on the agenda this evening so far. Any questions or comments?
Questions tonight?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
You guys keep mentioning the fire department meetings. Can you give us an update on, some dates on when things are going to start happening? Or
We're still in the collection of information and investigation stage, I guess you would call it. So there's nothing firm yet no contracts have been awarded for the building completion or whatever.
are you guys going to have application forms for to join the fire department?
Yes, I would imagine that will come in due course.
I'm thinking things are going to start getting pretty tight on time here.
That is, it's gonna be covered off, so,
Okay,
okay.
thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. So if there's no other questions, thank you again for attending, and we will hear from you, I'm sure, next meeting. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, we will take a 10-minute recess to allow Jeremy to take down his equipment, and we'll reconvene at that point in time. Okay, the meeting is back in session. Next resolution, be it resolved that pursuant to section 152 sub 3 of the Municipal Act, council shall meet as a committee of the whole to close the meeting and continue discussions in camera regarding personnel matters, negotiations, and preliminary discussions. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Wills, second by Councillor Kushniryk. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, next resolution. Be it resolved that pursuant to section 152 sub 4 of the Municipal Act, this meeting shall be reopened to the public. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Foster. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, resolutions resulting from in-camera discussions. Whereas the Council of Swan Valley West verifies that they have received and reviewed the Municipal Code of Conduct Appeals Director's report And whereas the council accepts the report as presented in full, therefore be it resolved that Bill Gade is in breach of the code of conduct and the sanctions are upheld as defined in regulation number 6, dated August 10, 2021, effective the 5th day of December, 2021. Do we have a mover for the resolution, please? Moved by Councillor Kushniryk, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? That is carried. No notice of motions. Anything further before adjournment? Not, be it resolved that this meeting shall now adjourn at 10:13 p.m. Be it further resolved that the next meeting is Tuesday, December 14th, 2021, at 7 p.m. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Kushniryk, seconded by Councillor Foster. All in favor? That is carried.